He stopped in front of the fountain at the hospital entrance and sat by himself. It was 1 in the morning and hardly anything stirred in those wide downtown streets. He cried a little, but he knew he would be all right because ever since the split up of his parents when he was 5, he had pretty much raised himself. Typically, he didn't worry about himself. He worried about his grandmother. But he didn't want to stay in Odessa anymore. It was too ugly for him, and the land itself bore no secrets, nor ever inspired the imagination. So dang flat, as he later put it, that a car ran down the highway and never disappeared. He longed for lakes and trees and hills, for serene places where he could take walks by himself. Mike came back to the hospital after about half an hour. "You are the most special thing in his life," his brother told him. "It's a hard pill to swallow, but you're going to have to make him proud of you." As for leaving Odessa to come live with him, Joe Bill gently talked Mike out of it. He used the most powerful pull there was for a 13-year-old boy living in Odessa, really the only one that gave a kid something to dream about: the power of Permian football. He talked about how Mike had always wanted to wear the black and white and how much he would regret it if he didn't, because there were so few places that could offer the same sense of allegiance and tradition. Mike knew that Joe Bill was right. He had already carried that dream for a long time, and despite what he thought of Odessa, it was impossible to let it go. He stayed in Odessa, and sometimes when he went over to his grandmother's house and talked about his father, it helped him through the pain of knowing that Billy was gone forever. His daddy worshipped him, said Julia Winchell. He sure loved that little boy. And Mike returned that love. When he died, I just thought that the best person in the world had just died. Billy and Mike. There was Mike smiling, curly haired, looking into his lad's face at Christmas time. And there was Billy, thin and wizened and slightly hunched, like a walking stick that had warped in the rain. There was Mike at the flea markets they went to together on Saturdays and Sundays over on University, helping his father lift the boxes from the car and set them in the little booth. There was Billy following him to a chair so he could sit and rest. There they were together on those hot afternoons that Mike hated so much but never complained about, selling the cheap tools and knives and toys and Spanish Bibles that had been found in catalogs or on trips to Mexico. There was Mike playing Little League Baseball with that go to hell stance of his feet close together, up on the toes, taking as big a stride as he could possibly muster into the ball jacking one homer after another. And there was Billy, the proud master, watching his gifted disciple from the car, unable to get out because of the pain in his leg and the arthritis. So that's the portion of Friday Night Lights that, as you can understand, really stood out to me. It's a pretty emotional section about Mike Winchell losing his father.